All right. Look at that. Definitely live. Cool. All right. Well, welcome in. I have a client that I just did um, a 3D tour for, like on Friday. Um, it's a, what do you call it? A retirement center, retirement home or hospice care. I guess what they specialize in. So essentially, um, they offer services for the elderly of assisted living. Maybe it's assisted living facility. Anyways, I've done this location twice, and the customer is looking uh, for me to create from a past project that I did with him on the same property and this other half. So essentially, it was a two-phase remodel of a hospital in a very rural area, and they they remodeled phase one, which is like the south side, I believe they called it. And I did that last year, and they just redid the north side of the building, which they had me go out there and redo. So I went out there, I captured everything using a Ricoh Theta Z camera. Last time I used a program called iGuide, and it worked really well because I'm still kind of new in the space. Like I'm not sure like what if you never use iGuide, you have to choose like do you want like a premium? Do you just want a Radex? Things of that nature. So, anyways, I use the Theta camera to capture everything together, and it's just been um, it worked out great. It uploaded to Google My Business just fine. Um, and this time around, essentially, the customer wants to add the 3D tour onto his website, along with having on Google My Business. Now, there's going to be a couple ways that he can do that. The first way is that he can just import the 3D tour from um, Google My Business and just embed it into the website, which probably be the most um, cost-effective way. Still gets the point across and is connected to Google, but you lose a lot of functions and features by doing that. So, and what I mean by that is, as we start building it, this is a very large facility, not a super large. Like I've seen 3D tours of massive areas, but the thing about it is that this is geared towards showing uh, potential residents of this place, or yeah, potential residents of this place, like what it's actually going to look like, and give them a more realistic feel of this property. So, anyways, um, we got a lot of panos. I try to organize them the best way I can. The thing with panos, and I'll probably talk about this again, is that um, everything needs to be line of sight. If it loses line of sight, then it kind of breaks the illusion. But also, it the navigation is much more difficult. So, um, unfortunately, with the south side or the phase one side, that was not a big issue. But you have to remember, this is a working facility, assisted living facility. So there are nurses, there are residents, they're in the hall, they're trying to do lunches, they're trying to do breakfasts. People are kind of shuffling around to play games. I mean, they're trying to go about their normal lives, and taking a 360 photo is pretty hard, just because you have to clear like all the spaces away, because you don't want people in the shot. Now, does it really matter for Google My Business or for your Google My Business page? And the answer is really no. Um, but Google will blur out their faces and things of that nature, but it doesn't look very clean and professional. So the client's paying a lot of money to have this done. I have been doing 3D tours for a minute, and um, the the thing is like I do a lot of like the cheap not cheap. What do you call it? Like pre-built things, like things that doesn't take a lot of effort to do. Using 3D Vista, I bought this last year. Spent $500 on it because I wanted to make some really cool projects, and this really allowed me to do it. Now, the reason I was doing it was because I was potentially going to work for this one furniture retailer and make a whole bunch of really cool things, which this allowed me to do, which I you really wouldn't get that same effect from the other 3D tour places. So I wanted to have something that was subscription free, that was something that was mine, that I could do whatever I please with. Um, I don't recommend using 3D Tour or 3D Vista for Google My Business spaces that have multiple levels. I would always recommend going like the iGuide route, only because they have level selections. But it's still super janky with Google My Business anyways. So here's the thing is we have a ton of work because I have to go through all these and try to place them and try to make them make sense. The other thing is that, again, I told you line of sight. The thing with line of sight is that you're not it's not going to have line of sight for everything. It's just the hallways are too long. It would just take too long or take up too much time for me to hold everybody up while I'm doing it. So, but I have a couple quick ideas of what I could do, and we'll try to implement that in this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. I created a new project. This is the newest version of 3D Vista. The project name, I'm just going to put the customer name. No thumbnail, description, we're going to leave that later. We're going to leave a lot of this stuff alone, and we're just going to go ahead and add our media. So we're going to open this up. We're going to import. This is really cool because it even imports Gaussian splatting now, which is really cool. So the other thing with the 3D Vista side is that their customer support is kind of dog water, dude. I mean, it's not that great. They are responsive, but it takes a long time. There was another guy, I'll look him up if everybody's curious, who created something. He's like the 3D Vista guru, and he ended up creating his own 3D Vista things to do some really amazing stuff. And it was definitely more competitive um, than 3D Vista as far as pricing wise. So it's definitely more affordable. And I think you got either just as good features or even more. Um, so, but with this, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to upload the standard panoramas. And let me see where I have this folder at. I think it's just this one here. Yeah, so I got them set up in two ways. We're not going to worry too much about editing them just yet. It's like as far as like color correcting and stuff like that. What we are going to focus on is just getting kind of everything lined up, getting everything named. Then I can go back, save it, and replace panos as we need to go. But I need to start somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to import this first side, south. And when I renamed all these, I just did it to the best of what I thought I would need. And every time I've done this in the past, like I've always gotten screwed on it. So hopefully it doesn't screw me too terribly bad, but we'll see what the heck happens. Spilled that all over myself. Amazing. So this will usually take just a minute or two. So here, all the panoramas have been imported. Again, I haven't used this in a hot minute, so I'm going to have to remember how this all is supposed to go. So we're going to go to panoramas. I'm going to click on this. I think it's going to be our starting point here. I think this is the hallway. So we're going to go ahead and just hit hotspots. And I love leaving these up because it reminds me of like what the heck I'm doing. Some dragging, dropping, and then putting what I want. Okay, cool. That's easy enough. So again, we'll fix a lot of this here a little bit later. This does look like where we want to be at. This does have a different vibe, so we might again have quite a bit of work set, but we just need to kind of get things going. So we're not going to drag, what is this? Yeah, so that's not going to really give us any depth. So let's go back to here. And we're spaced in the center, so we should be able to see. Yeah, we can see that spot. So what we're going to do is, this will be our starting point. We're going to just drag S3 in here. We're going to create a home spot. And we're going to choose what we want. Let's see. Do we want to use double arrows? Might just use that. This is create return point. So the return point is going to be right here. We're going to add that. And then we're going to put this on the floor. We can, of course, rotate this. How we want. So if someone wants to go, they can kind of click and go through there. Our first spot is going to be here. So let's go ahead and let's delete stuff as we go. So let's go back to the list and S2. I'm also going to mark this down as we go too. Oh, dropping shit. So S2, and we're just going to put delete. That way we know that we can just get rid of it. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to S1, hotspots, continue. And we're going to go to S4. I'm going to drop it right there. I'm going to put that arrow. And we're going to remark this to, I think, about right there. We're going to add it. Might move this arrow right there where it's kind of like in the front. And then that looks good. That looks good. So all the spots should be created back. So if we go to S4, go back, and boom, there it is. We can also make this bigger. And if we want to change things, we can. But sometimes I just like leaving it on the floor to see pretty much like how I want to do it. But that will bring us back to there. This is 314, which didn't bring us quite there. Is S4? What is S5? Ah, S5. Okay, so screwed up. We need to get rid of S4 because that does not help us. So all that work we just did goes away. So we need S5. Delete that. Yep. Let's go back to S1. Go Back to hotspots. Continue. We need to delete that. And we're going to do S5 there. And this goes right here. Add. So now if we go to S5, way too high. I want that to be lower right there. That way it makes everything easier. The thing, when we're doing these, and we got all those people, this is what I was telling you about. All these people come through here and just kind of jacks everything up, but that's okay. We can fix all that. So S5. So then we're going to go into S6 room 1 is what I got this created as. So do it that way. Return points here. Add OK. We're going to lower this here. Now we can do that, or we could do something different too. I mean, if we wanted to. We can do transparent. You can even add like a door if we wanted to. So we want to be about even with people. So yeah, so then we can create that. And that kind of looks good too. We can even, if we wanted to, make this white, which like a little opaque door for people to enter into, which is also really cool. But we're not going to worry too much about that right now. So let's go ahead and add in the next scene. So we're here. When I did this, I kind of did it a little too low. So I don't think I'm going to use this one. I don't think it adds. We got the bathroom here, bathroom. We got the bed. Let me see what the bed looks like. So we do have to add that one because I can't see the bathroom. Or maybe that's what we'll do. We'll add the bathroom in there, and then we'll add the bed scene in there. And I think that will do it. So let's do that. So we're going to click and drag, drop the bedroom in here. And we're going to put our return spot back here, add. So now we can go into the bedroom there, and we'll click and drag, and we'll put that back here. And again, the reason for all this is so that we don't want to confuse the visitors. We want to make it as easy as possible. So let's go. Let's look at this again. That looks good. Yeah, we don't need to go back. This bathroom looks good, and this brings us back. So that's fine too. So in reality, we can get rid of this, which is S7 RM2, and we can also get rid of this because it doesn't add anything to it. So we can go S9 RM4. So we'll keep that. We'll delete those two. SM4, what is this? Is this? Yeah, we're keeping 10. Okay. What is 12? 12 is over here, which looks a lot higher. We'll do this one too. We'll keep that one. So that's fine. So let's go ahead. We'll go back to our list and we'll delete the ones that we don't need. So 2 is gone. 4 is gone. Look for S7. We're going to delete that one because we don't need it. And 4, we don't need it. And, oh, we got 6 and 7. Are these two the same? So, let's go back here. Go back to hotspots. And then let's look at oh, I see what I did. I did 2 of these. One on one side, one on the other. Okay, so let's also get rid of 6. Yeah. So S11 RM 6. And the reason we're writing this down is so that I can remember what I deleted. That way, if I do need, for whatever reason, to come back, then I can. So go back to hotspots, continue. We'll go here, and then we're going to add this one to right there, and put that guy right there. We're going to change this to maybe that. We can have fun with it. Okay, so that looks good. So now we can go back to 7. And maybe we can just change that back to this. We want to be obvious of where people are going to go. So that looks good. We come back, make sure nothing else has changed. That looks good. Bathroom. That looks good. Main room. That looks good. And then we got the arrow that leads out. So what we may do is change this to that. And we're just going to make it pretty big and obvious. Click there. Okay. So now let's go back to the hallway, which is just right there. Okay, so S13 we don't need. S14 we don't need. Really don't need S15 either. That's really good. Get out of here, fly. So we'll keep S16. So let's go ahead and get to our list. S13, we're going to trash. S14, we're going to trash. S15, we're going to trash. We're back to S16. So let's go to S5. Go back to hotspots. Continue. And we'll definitely have to edit this out a little bit later. But let's go ahead and just throw in S17. Put an arrow. This isn't. This isn't right. Oh, because it's S16, so screw that up. So let's delete that. 16. That looks about right, and we're basically right there. So we can lower this down a little bit. That's fine. That's fine. We're looking good. Let's see. So let's go to S16 and let's see. Pretty much there. And when we do the final build, like, we can really do it up. So we have a couple different options. So I know we can go down, and I know this one is in the front as 17. So we can do that because that looks nice. And maybe that could be like one of our starting points. So we're going to put this back here, add, lower this down a little bit. That looks good. And let's go to 17. And this was going to 16, and this was going to 5. Yeah, that's where we screwed up. So we're going to delete that. So now it's just a 16. And we got this nice setup. So we're good on that. Let's see where S18 is. And it kind of brings us down this hall. What about S19? Nourishments. So I think we might scrap S18 and S19. Let's see if we can cut any more fat. Is this going to be the next room? It is. Okay. So our next room is going to be S20. So let's scrap these. Let's go back to our list. Let's get rid of 18. Yes. And let's get rid of 19. Yes. And then let's go back to 16. That's fine. Okay. So our room that we're going to go to is right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Add our arrow. And we're about right there. And that'll bring us there. We got there and then there. Okay, so we're looking good. So let's go ahead and jump into 20. Make sure that connector is there. It is. About right there. And then we are going to go inside the room. We're going to put that door back. Go put that right there. Add. just going to increase it. That looks good. And we can set the zoom level and shit like that a little bit later. So this brings us to the front. That looks fine. Where does this bring us? Do I like it? Or do I like this? And bathroom. I'm gonna say that I don't care. I'm gonna say that I don't care for this guy. So we will mark that off of our little list. We're going to say S23 RM3. So a lot of times, what I do as well is that I want to have enough data to rebuild these tours on Google. So that's why a lot of times you will see just a ton of extra shots that I don't need. So that brings me into that shot. So we should be good. So we go here. That looks good. Boy, you know what? You know what? Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the S21 RM1. We're gonna get rid of that one. Because it just doesn't make sense. Yeah. So, because we come here, we can clearly see the bed. So we don't need to make 15 steps in here. So yeah, let's do that. Let's delete that. Let's make this one our entrance. Our exterior be back out, like right there. Yeah. So now when we do make entrance, which should be this guy. Yeah. Delete that. We're going to go back to S20, which is the door. That's fine. Okay. And then from here, we are going to go. What does this look like? Yeah, this is perfect. Okay, so we're going to get rid of S24 RM4 as well, because I don't see a reason we would need it. So let's go back to the one we are keeping, which is this one. Yeah. And then we're just going to add another panel right here. And we're going to return this back to here. I'm going to open it up. That way people know what it is. If we want to, we can write text like bathroom, whatever. So, and then that brings us here. So now we just need to see. It does some nice things where like you'll copy the hotspot, but like this just doesn't make sense. So we're going to swap this back out to this guy. And we're going to do it like that. Now let's go ahead, since we got this. Let's make sure we got these. Let's remove some of these things here. So we got rid of S18. Get rid of 19. S20, 21 needs to be removed. 23 needs to be removed. 24 needs to be removed. I can already tell you this one needs to be removed as well. Okay. So let's go back. Let's see what this is. So that's the desk. This is the room. 310. And I think we're going to go in this bathroom next. So we should have. Yeah, so S27, we need to get rid of that. S28 is going to work. Yes, I had to go. Okay, so then we're going to get rid of S29, BR, which I would call bathroom 1. We're going to get rid of that as well. God damn, dude. The fly has like everywhere to go and live, but just refuses. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. 27, delete that. Just make our life easier. Bathroom 1, delete that. Makes our life easier. Okay. So let's go ahead and make our connection from S20 to S28. I don't know what else. There it is, S20. Do the arrow. Add. So we want to be able to see more or less which way we're going to go. I'm kind of regretting getting rid of one of these things, but it is what it is. So we're going to go like that. Let's go back to 28. Make sure that makes sense. And then bathroom 2. And then we're going to move this back to here. Like, it looks calm and empty, but it is anything but calm and empty. Like, it was like go, 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 go. So our next would be this one. Yeah. So I'm going to go back to 2. And I think we're going to get rid of this one, which is S31BR3. And we're just going to go ahead S32BR. So we're going to go here. We're going to make a door. Back out. Add this in here. And Bob's your uncle. We should be good. Let's go in here. See the little bath thing. And then that shows us our door back out. So that's fine. So let's see where this takes us. Takes us in the center, which that looks kind of cool. Bathroom. Bathroom. Ah, okay. So then this will take us to the shower. And here's the shower. Okay, cool. So we can delete a bunch of these. And that's what we're going to do. So let's go back to bathroom 2. This is our main one. We see that. And we're just going to delete all this crap in the middle and just go straight into the shower, which is here. I'm going to create a door. I'm going to put that back here. And we're going to add it. Because you can see this stuff right here, so that's fine. This is just a toilet, so it's not super important. People know what toilets look like, so we're good on that. And then they can see the little zero soak tub. So let's go ahead and finish cleaning this up. We don't need BR3. We don't need S33 BR4. We don't need BR5. Yeah. So we don't need S34 BR5. This is turning out to be great because we're deleting just a ton of panoramas that we don't need, which is good because our next bit is going to be pretty painful because this is just the phase 1 side. We still have to do phase 2. And even after we connect everything, we still have to go back and edit these freaking photos. The client's paying a lot of money and he wants it pretty darn fast. So before we get out of this and delete everything, let's go back to BR37. Make sure we have that squared away. We do. So if they click this, it'll bring them back to where we just were. So that's good. So let's go to the list. And let's go ahead and just chop the rest of these off. So 31 BR3, we're going to get rid of that. Yes. We're keeping that one. 33 BR4, delete that one. That's 30. What is this? 34 BR5. Says delete it, so I'm going to go ahead and just trust what I wrote was right. 6 is gone, and 7 is gone. All right, so that's all connected. So now what needs to happen is we need to go and import we're going to need to import the other side. Oh, and the way I labeled it, I'm going to have to work backwards. And I did already filter out a bunch of stuff. So I'm 100%. I'm 100% not looking forward. What is this? Your source files include gyroscope data and the metadata. Do you want to? Sure. I don't know what that means. I hopefully that doesn't mess with anything that I've been dealing with. Hopefully it's just something super easy. All right, so yeah, so now we're just gonna have to freaking work backwards. Oh my god. So let's take a look. Boy, I just. I don't know. I'm not too sure what I want to do. If this has a if this has a clean shot, say because this is gym 1 and that's gym 2 and the next shot is in there, next shot's centered, next shot is this, so I don't, that's the only clean side I have. Oh, I probably do have. I don't think I have one in the middle because I don't think I needed it because I know where everything connected. So I wonder what would be more impressive. So we could say therapy room 1, therapy room 2. So we're not going to use this one. Okay, so we're going to call this one. So we're going to connect. So we're going to say therapy. So PT1 is N29 PT M2. And then PT room number 2. Fly, get out of here. This would be PT room number 2. So PT 2 is going to be in 26 PT2. So now what we need to do is somehow connect this with the other side of the building. So we need to go back to the very first one. This all makes sense. So through this door right here, this is where the PT1 and PT2 is. So I need it to basically say that. So let's. This one looks the nicest. So 29 PT room 2. So we're going to drag and drop this here. And we're just going to do that. The return is going to be here. Hey, appreciate the follow, man. So the return is going to be here. You like dealing with 3D tours, or at least watching people build them? Let me tell you, it's a struggle. Okay, so that will connect there. And this is fine. Because we can just call this PT1. And then we can call this one lobby, which should be fine. And then maybe like right here, I don't know if you're still watching, you can let me know. Maybe right here I can put the link. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, so I got this one linked. This is the next one, so I'm going to put this one right here. And the return is going to be right here. All right, watch this, you guys. This is what we're going to do. Do that, and so when we go into here, let's make sure this is set up right. Yep, great. So that's there, and then we're going to do PT1 or PT2, which is 26 here. Dang. We're going to put PT 26, PT1, 26, PT2 right here. And then the return point is going to be here. So now I'm going to face to that wall, which isn't, listen, don't. The ideal way is to have it in this hallway, but we can't do that. So so what we're going to do is just teleport between these two. The other part that I could do is just label this one PT1, PT2, the door. But you have to think what's going to happen. So we are building a 3D tour for a assisted living home here in Georgia. So this is a customer that I did a 3D tour like when I first kind of started getting into it a little bit over a year ago. And when I say getting into it, I'm talking about getting into like Google Street View. So that's what this 3D tour is going to be for. Is going to be for the website and for Google Street View. So last year I took did a 360 tour of the first phase of renovations, and then a few days ago, Friday, yesterday, I went back and did phase two, which was the other side of the building. So now what I'm trying to do is connect both sides of the building to give just a whole view of what this facility is going to look like. And this is going to be for future residents, their kids to look at to see if this is going to work for their parents or anything else like that. So there's a couple areas that, want to make sure that everything's highlighted without necessarily showing the other spots. So the other spots being like the common areas where the nurses are working, stuff like that. Like, we don't need to see that. So, and I'm trying to connect these two rooms together, which I think I did for right now. Maybe after I finish this tour, like I really need a pound and get it worked with, get this thing done. Shit, hold on. 26 PT2. So this one goes back here. That's fine. This is physical therapy. This will make sure that's obvious. This door is like off kilter too. So that's going to be fine. I don't know if it's going to be. Actually, I'm going to delete this return hotspot. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete this return hotspot. I'm going to connect the next one here to here. Like that. Return the point back here. The hell? Okay, there you go. Add there to there. We're going to drop this down. I do a little bit of Discord, but not too much. Like, I just got my buddy who we do some streaming on Sundays on Discord, but that's about as much as I play with that. So I'm going to set this here, and we made that connection. So let's go here real quick. Drop this back down. Dang, I was really hoping, and I knew this wasn't centered. But what we can do is we can create two hotspots back to this spot. So that's what we'll do. We'll put it right here, and then I can just delete it. So yeah, that's what I'll do. So I got it there. So let me go back to go back to here. And we can take this, we can delete it. Because this is taking us to 1. Yeah. And so now what I can do is go back to here. And we can add this. Return spot, we'll put it back to here. So we don't really need it. Go back to here. Take this, we'll delete that. So temporarily, I think I got it figured out, which is we'll go here, we'll enter into room, to this room, and then when we click here, it'll take us back to this other room. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So now we need to add the next spot. Which is the cafeteria. So I'm going to get rid of I'm going to get rid of N26 PT1 and N28 RM PT1. So I'm going to delete those two. And now I have to, which one am I on? I'm on N26 PT2. So I'm on that. And that one needs to go to, that's cafeteria. Lord. Dang, dude. I can't believe all these people right here. I can because I know what I was trying to do. Okay. So 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 let's go from the physical therapy room to the cafeteria. Yeah. So we're going to go from there to cafeteria. So it's going to be in 20 cal or calf 2. So let's go back to where we were. 27 PT 2 and N20 calf. Calf 2, calf 1, calf 2. We're going to go here. We'll put it there. So now let's go back to okay, so that's fine. And then calf 2, we go to calf 3. We'll bring that down to calf 3. And then calf 4 is over here. So calf 3. What's calf 4? Right next to the slushy machine. So that's fine. I really don't think I need calf 5. Or calf 6. So calf 2, we're going to go across the way to bedroom. Shit. Okay, so now I think I could save some a headache. We'll delete this. And we'll go to bedroom 2. I think that's what we'll do. Like that. So that will take us to bedroom 2. That'll take us back to the cafeteria. There's another bedroom down here. What's this bathroom looks like? Yeah, so we can get rid of. Say this shit gets in a mess real quick. You know what? We're gonna get rid of. We're gonna get rid of this one. So I don't think it's necessary. So we're gonna get rid of that one. And we're going to use BR3. So let's go here and link this one up here. And we'll put this one back here. That's fine. So now we go to BR3. We see the bathroom. We can see the hall. We can see the bed. We need to change this. Just for our sanity right now, to this guy. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. So now we just need to. This is the other. So the other. It's the other bedroom. Okay, so we need to. We need to link North Pano 10 BR1 to BR2. Because that leads us back to cafeteria. So we're going to need something that link us back to. So maybe we'll put it right here. And I think that will signify as like, we could put like a banner or something that's like, oh, you want to see a 2-bed option? Like, click here. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll do it that way. So this is N, so this is North 15 BR2. So we need North 10 BR1, North 10 BR1. So we're going to drop this right here. And the return point could be right here. That's fine. I can accept that. So then we could do it like that. So let's go ahead and finish up BR101. We're here. The next location will be in the center. Yeah, okay. So BR1. And then we're going to drop this pano. Something like that there. Again, this doesn't really matter right now because again, I still have to go back and edit all this stuff, but I want to have a good idea of how these connections are going to be made. So then we have that, and next it's going to be here to here. And we're going to add that there. So now if we go here, you can see the bathroom. No tripod, great. We're going to change this one out just for my sanity to here. Select that. And then we're going to add a hotspot. We're going to add the 10. No, 15 BR2. BR2, and that guy's gonna be in the. That's fine. So now if we go to 15 BR2. BR3. Oh, wait. We're an idiot. We need to go to BR1. That's fine. So now if we go back to BR1, we'll just delete that because that's not super important. Go there. Okay, so that's all connected now. So now we need to spend some time cleaning. We need some time cleaning some of this shit out. So we're keeping that. Easy way for me to figure out is if I click on it, 26, 28 RP1, that's fine. That's connections. That is connections. This in 25 PT1 needs to be removed. In 24 calf 6 in 23 calf 5 that one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. Yeah, this one. And 19 calf 1 needs to go. And 18 BR5 and 17 BR4 and then in 14 BR1 and 13 BR4 that one's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Get rid of this N 9L H2. That was just a hallway to give me an idea where I'm at. Same thing. This is N 8 LH and I think I think this is the hallway that I'm going to keep. But it's, you know, it's a working facility, man. Like, you can't expect everybody. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep. I got to keep this. I need to edit this. Is I'm going to keep this because this goes to the cafeteria and to the rooms. This goes back to the hallway. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's clean up. Let's clean up some of this mess. So we don't have so many to go. So first on the chopping block is N26 PT1. N26. Got rid of that one. That's fine. N28. N28. Yeah. RMPT1. Okay, we can delete that one. N17 BR N17 BR4, delete that. N25 PT1, 25 PT1, delete that. And like I said, we're just kind of cleaning things up. CAF 6, that can be gone. CAF 5, that can be gone. CAF 1, that can be gone. 19 CAF 1. And 18 BR5, that can be gone. 17 BR4. Maybe we already deleted that. 14 BR1, delete that. N13 BR4, delete that. N9 H2, we'll delete that. And then 8 LH, delete that. Okay, so now we're back on track. This is, I mean, everything you guys are seeing right here, this is, I only got like maybe one or two panels that I need to cut out of this group here. So we're doing pretty good. So we need to go ahead and connect the crossroads to the cafeteria is what I'm thinking next. So let's go back into the cafeteria and figure out where we are. Let's do this one. We're going to create a hotspot. Yeah. So even like right here, like I still have to remove these people. So let's introduce the crossroads. So that's the front. And we'll put that back in here. That'll be for the crossroads. So that's fine. Um, so look for North 7 HW2. Maybe, yeah, I might have some additional ideas to block some of this crap out. And then we might be able to put the rooms through here. So not all has lost. So this one goes where? Okay, so this one goes up here. So drop this guy right here. And it goes right there. That's fine. Drag it down. And then go back here. And drag this guy down right here. And then the next scene is going to be right here. And that's going to connect right here. It's unbelievable. I mean, I get it. I'm not upset. I was just kind of hoping that my life wouldn't be as difficult. So now we're going into here. And this is going to go back out. This, the charge nurse or whoever the heck is in the little booth in the front, boy, brutal. Absolutely brutal. Not a happy camper at all because she had to move. Which I guess I wouldn't be too upset either. Um, so we're going to bring that down. Connect that. I'm going to connect that. And then into. And then this will connect the north lobby. All right, so for the most part, we got it connected. So connection, 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 connection. So we're just kind of double checking, making sure that we got everything we needed connected. Okay. So I think live for an hour and a half. I think we're good for right now. I'm going to be creating a part two on this after I go back and edit some of the videos and things, or the photos, make it more pretty, and then we're going to make one last final big build of everything ready for delivery for the client. So, yeah, I'm going to try to knock this out for tomorrow. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.